You're listening to the new WCEG Network on WCEGTalkRadio.com. Click your live stream tab or watch us live on your smart TV on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn under WCEG Network. I'm Wardell Richardson, your show host right here on WCEG Hollywood of the South for the next hour. We are the worldwide community empowerment group where we speak life into the community. Subscribe free to our YouTube channel under WCEG Network. Like, follow, and connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, IG, and LinkedIn. We have some new platforms. Download our free mobile apps on iOS, Apple iPhones, and iPads. Go to the Apple Store and search for WCEG Talk Radio. On Apple TV, search for WCEG Network TV. And on Apple Watch, search for WCEG Network. On your Android mobile phones and tablets, go to Google Play and search for WCEG Talk Radio. Last but not least, the topic and opinions of those of the show hosts and guests and not those of WCEG Network. I am Wardell Richardson, your host right here on WCEG Hollywood of the South, and I'm so happy to be here today. My guest I can't wait to bring her on, but before I bring her on, I have a little bit of news for you. As you know, right now it is voting season. It is voting season. Now listen, I am not going to tell you who to vote for. It's not my job, but please, people, research, read, understand who you are voting for, understand what is happening in the media. If you don't know now, you're sleeping under a rock because literally it's all over TV, all over social media. Everything that's said has been brought to light, from governors to mayors to the president. So please, people, make sure that you pay attention to what's going on. This is a huge, huge deal. This is voting season right here in the United States. Early voting started Tuesday, October the 15th, and it goes through November the 1st. Election is Tuesday, November the 5th. Read the three referendums on the House bill resolutions, the 1022, 598, and 808. Those are very important resolutions that you should pay attention to. Please read those. People, read, 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 read. We're going to touch more onto that when I talk to my guest here in a minute. But make sure you check your polling locations and voting status. If you are not sure, you can go to www.imavoter.com or www.mvp.sos.ga.gov. I'm going to say those again. You can go to www.imavoter.com or www.mvp.sos.ga.gov and check your status. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't express to you how important it is for you to vote today. And people have been saying that there ain't no lines. You can go right in there, vote, and come right out. A lot of people want to wait till the last minute to go vote. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you don't want to be standing in the long lines on the election day, go now, put your vote in, get in and out, and be on your way. I've been seeing a lot of people posting pictures showing that the sticker that you get when you go and vote. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very, very important time to go and vote. If you don't understand what's going on, talk to someone who understands what's going on, or better yet, just read. Go and read. Go and look at the debates. They're all on YouTube. You can look them up, see who has the best things to offer. And please just don't look at just minor things like money. Who's giving money here, giving money there? Look at the important things that are going on with each of those presidents. What's going to benefit us? What's going to benefit the country? Pay attention to those things. Also, you can mail in your absentee ballots. Our seniors and college students and physically challenged, go to your polling places if at all possible. You can mail them in. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, I cannot express to you, and I'm going to keep saying this, how important it is to vote today. Like, go out and vote. especially if there's one candidate that you just don't like, go and vote for the other candidate. You know what I'm saying? Just go and vote. It is very, very important. Um, with that being said, I'm going to introduce to you my guest. And before I introduce to you my guest, I'm just going to give you a little bit of background on her. She is an Atlanta-based actress with over 15 years of experience in the entertainment industry, including notable roles in productions such as P-Valley on Stars. I know everybody know about P-Valley. The Outsider on HBO, and Young Rock on CBS. In addition to acting, she is a writer with projects like Envy and co-writing credits for Worldwide Deception. Recently, she earned an MBA in social media marketing also, broadening her expertise in content creation and audience engagement. So I am so honored to have this woman. I've known her for a very long time, and she has been doing some amazing things. It has been years since I've seen her face to face, but we always kept in touch through social media. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Yasmein Ziyad, right?
Ziyad, but you were close.
Ziyad. I was close. Ziyad, how are you?
The crowd goes wild. I'm just playing. I'm doing
Now,
great. How?
now, honestly, you were really into comedy, so I'm surprised you didn't put anything in comedy in your bio about comedy in your bio.
Well, because acting started kind of overshadowing the comedy, but
Got you.
unbeknownst to quite a few people, and I'm sure all your listeners, I did do amateur night at Uptown Comedy Corner years ago.
Okay.
And the manager asked for me to come back. I had met Shawty, Duval,
Uh-huh.
all of them. Like
Okay.
it was really cool. I didn't go back, but I did go back to just enjoy the show. And so he ended up sending Mike Epps over to my table to talk to me about getting into comedy.
Uh-huh.
So we were just shooting the crap, and I told him, I just wanted to see if everybody got my sense of humor and not just my little clique. Like I wasn't all the way weird. And so, the manager also told me that night, he had really big plans for me, if I just would come back, but I never did. And even the comic Nod, we both used to say, yeah, we'll do comedy together. And then he went into it. I was like, no, I'm doing the acting thing. So, here I am. But I'm goofy in real life. I look at the world like it's truly a sitcom. And so I laugh
Right.
a lot. Some people tell me I'm going to hell because it's something that I find funny that most people wouldn't. But like, you can't be sad about everything. Like, that's just depression.
Right.
Somebody that's handicapped and they do something funny, it's okay to laugh. Like, they're normal.
Right. Right.
So I laugh.
Okay. So let's get a little bit of history on you. You was born and raised in Atlanta, or
I'm a peach. I got all this fuzz, baby.
see, that's what I'm talking about. I'm born
And
and raised in Atlanta too.
you a Grady baby?
I am a Piedmont Hospital baby.
So you got some fuzz. I got all the fuzz.
Wait a minute. Why I got a little fun? I gotta be a Grady baby to get the
They
whole.
they do say true Atlantans are Grady babies. That's what you remember when they had the sweaters. I'm a Grady baby. Man, I was trying to get me one. I'm a Grady baby. Ain't it messed up though? That means everybody a Grady baby. We all grew up poor.
Right, right.
Guess that's
So
where the fuzz come in.
right. So so what got you into acting? What was the thing that said, you know what, this is what I want to do?
Actually, it's deeper than that. So
Okay.
I grew up the middle child out of five.
Okay.
Um, my mother was on a fixed income, so it was difficult. My father was extremely abusive. So there were a lot of dark days. And so when she left him, there were still dark days and moments. And so she introduced me to comedy because she said when life gets so serious, you have to find something to laugh at to keep
Right.
keep sane. So I'm literally like a child. I'm not even 10 yet. And she introduces me to Mom's Mabley, Red Fox, Richard Pryor, Robin Harris, Eddie Murphy,
Right,
Whoopi Goldberg. I'm watching Whoopi Goldberg with this like very vulgar, all of them had very vulgar like jokes. But my mother sat there with me and she was like, "Do you see what they're doing? They're
right,
telling stories. It's the stories that's relatable. It's the truth. But they put it in a funny way." She was like, "This is comedy. You have to find the humor out of all life situations because they're taking pain and turning it into humor.
right.
It's entertainment for all of us." And so I'm also a Cancer, so I'm very emotional. And we don't like to let people know about how we truly feel. And my sisters used to find my diary and pick on me. So I had to
Oh
find
Lord.
a way to get it out without nobody knowing. And I discovered like acting, it can take you away from the real world, which is doom and gloom sometimes, no escape. Well, you can hop in here, become this person for a moment, live this life for a moment, get a different experience. And then
Right,
it taught me different things. Like I learned the world, I learned people, I learned that we're no different. It's just color, like where we are geographically, religion,
right.
but we're all the same. Our feelings is the same, our struggles are the same, and we're no different. So,
That's true. That's true. And, also when it comes to, this whole, comedy and just enjoying life, a lot of people, like you were saying earlier, funny comes in a lot of different ways. Don't be afraid to laugh at what's funny. You know,
mhm.
I think life is such a short place and a lot of people don't take the time to enjoy it.
Exactly.
To
And what
just
you want to know what's funny? We don't take the time to enjoy it in its essence in that moment, but we can enjoy a movie. We can enjoy a TV show. So
right.
we can enjoy somebody else's life because to us it's entertainment, but that's
Yep.
somebody's life.
Yep. You're right. You're right. So once you got a whiff of that pretty much told you, this is what I want to do. This
Yeah,
is the
and and
avenue.
and then I saw Aaliyah in Queen of the Dam.
Yes.
I can do that. I gotta figure this out. But we in Atlanta. It ain't like I can't go to Hollywood. Like I got a small child because I had a small child.
Right.
Where is it at? Somehow I end up getting employed for the CEO at the time of DeKalb County. They end up bringing Hollywood in the South to DeKalb. Robert Townsend partnered with DeKalb. I've got to meet my idol, Robert Townsend. That sparked it. It's like God heard me. This is meant for me. And one day I'm on the bus on the way home, and you manifest stuff by just talking about it, telling yourself you got it. And so I was like, I'm gonna be an actor. It's gonna happen to me. I know I'm in Atlanta, but it's gonna happen. So one day I happen to be on the bus. It's a stall. I'm mad. I look up. I see a acting studio. Nick Conti.
Okay.
Ooh, ooh, wait. The bus passes it. Shh, shoot. I catch the bus again. Now I'm looking for it. Write the number down. So I come back. I call. I get the voicemail. I leave a message. He called me back. There's a wait list. Your number is 64. Cool.
Oh wow.
I don't hear nothing for 2 years. Out the blue, the chief of staff where I worked at the time, she started asking me like more about writing and acting because my personality is big. And I told her, yeah, it's something I always wanted to do, but I never told nobody. So she was like, well, work towards it. What are you doing? Get into some improv classes. Where do I find that? Google. Okay. I hit Google. I'm calling around. I come across Nick Conti again. I go, I remember them. They never called me back. So I call back. And he answers the phone and I go, I called you 2 years ago. I've been on your wait list for 2 years. And then he goes, what's your name? And I tell him, he goes, we got to open it now. You want to come audit? Yeah. So I
Wow.
audit and it was in me. I wanted to jump up there as soon as I saw them playing. I was like, want to go. I want to go. And he's like, anybody? He's like, who's up next? And I go, he's like, you can't, you're auditing. I was like, man. But you know, you like, I have a thing. If I feel butterflies,
Right.
it's meant for me. It's a calling. If I see a funky pair of shoes, I get butterflies. If I see an outfit I like, I get butterflies. Man, you get butterflies. So same thing with this. I follow the butterflies, and I was like, this is for me. And so I started those classes, and I've just been on a hunger. Like, I didn't want to just jump out and audition, because you only get one chance to make a good impression.
So you
And
didn't have that fear, because a lot of people have that fear that comes over them, and they just, get really nervous in the beginning. You didn't have that?
I have it, but one thing about me, I'm not going to let something that I want just walk past me no more. Like, I
Right.
spent my early part of my life watching that happen out of fear, like fear of rejection, the biggest thing. Nobody wants to be rejected. But then you never know what can happen if you just step outside of your comfort zone. And then I'm a big stickler, like, insanity is repeating the same things, expecting different results. You
Hmm.
gotta just take the risk. Whether or not you fail, take the risk. That's how you learn. When you fail, just do it. At least you ain't got no
Yep.
regret. So I'm
Right.
like, I'm here. I want to do this. I'm gonna do it. But now I'm here. Let me learn everything about it. Let me learn the language. Let me learn how I'm supposed to be in this environment and in these rooms. So when I do enter it for the first time, I'm not giving off like beginner. So I didn't jump out and audition. I took my time and I studied the craft. I learned a lot about me in that, because acting is just bringing out your experiences, who
Yeah.
you are,
Right.
bringing that, using their words to bring that to life, your perspective. That's
Right.
your contribution. It's no such thing as your performance being wrong. It's just that's not what they're looking for at that time.
Right.
That's it. So,
Yeah.
and getting more into acting, learning more about acting, I learned more about me,
Hmm.
and help boost my confidence and self-esteem, and me being able to sit here and talk to you knowing that there's, I don't know, God, how no pity many people watching. So like, I wouldn't have been able to do it if I wouldn't have went the route that I went. So
Right. And I think the fact that you took the chance to like want to learn, because a lot of people, they get out here and they get into it and don't know what they're getting into. This is not a career for the lighthearted at all. You're gonna have your bumps in the road, you're gonna get your cold seasons, you're gonna have the times when, you go to auditions and you're not getting the role, or they call you and say we chose to go a different direction. And what I learned in this business, because I've been in about the same amount of time as you've been in it, and what I learned is that it ain't always about you. It's about the project. It's about what they're looking for, and you could be killing the entire time. They could think you great, but what's fun? The thing about it is, and I tell people, don't get upset, don't get mad, because they can have you in mind for something later. And
mhm.
that's happened many a times. You know what I'm saying? You probably didn't fit that particular project. They said, well, but we got them for the next one. Now,
I
how
have a
many,
story
now,
for that.
how, now in this industry, what has been your biggest achievement, like, since you've been doing it? What has made you smile and say, wow, I can't believe I actually am here?
My growth
Hmm.
of my performance from when I first started, even before COVID to now. There's a tremendous difference. There's more confidence there. Like,
Hmm.
in the beginning, you're fighting to give them what they want, and you're struggling with that because you don't even know what they want. And you don't learn until you get into it a little more. They don't know what they want, and it can change depending on the performance of the actor and what
Yep.
essence they bring.
Right.
But when you learn at the end of the day to trust the words on the paper, to trust who you are as a person, your experiences, and that this is your perspective of their words. And it's okay if you don't hear back. You're not even supposed to think about it. If that was the best performance that you've done, that's all that I have. And my auditions, in my opinion, I get them done in a short amount of time. I am no longer stressed about it. And I just feel very creative and open when it comes to auditioning because it's me diving into these words.
Right.
You see, I'm sorry. It's me discovering bits of me that what does this mean? What does that mean? Trying different things and then pulling that camera out and readjusting to set it up for taping. Like
Right.
creating this environment, like, and then when I watch it back and it looks like it's an actual scene that could be dropped in, that's my greatest achievement.
Wow.
Giving the best audition that I'm able to give.
Right. So, as a Black woman in this business, so let's get a little deeper about this. And as a Black woman in this business, it's been spoken that Black women have a hard time getting roles, getting paid the proper amount as the men or other or other actors that are not of color. Have you had come across that, or do you agree with that? And do you think it's changed from how it was?
I think there's been some progress. Um, but the fact that we're having conversations about it is the biggest change for me.
Yeah.
Um, there is a overall issue, period, not just with the pay for actors, it's across the board. No matter what industry, there's always been that women are paid less than men and doing the same amount, if not more work. I'm very big about everybody being treated equally,
Hmm.
but at the same time, it's like this is happening. I don't have time to sit up here and be pissed about it
Right.
because, like, what is that gonna do? Like, you work hard. It does make me work harder because
Hmm.
I get a big enough voice, then I could help bring more light to it and maybe help change it.
Right.
But at least we're at the point that we're talking about it now.
Yeah.
So everything first starts with dialogue.
It does. It does. And I think that things are progressively changing. Um, there has been a lot of people that have spoken out about it, and people have started taking notice
Mhm.
on a lot of different things. Because I think when Black Panther came out, it changed a lot of perspectives on dark skinned people being in
Ain't that
film.
funny? Ain't that funny? Like, you
It's
remember that
crazy,
era
but
when we were younger, like we were big about Black Power, like chocolate and all
right,
that.
right,
Converted right back to like, let's go here. And now it takes Marvel,
right.
Marvel to come out with Black Panther. I'm sorry,
Uh-huh.
I'm out here, Black Panther. I think about the little kid on Instagram, Black Panther. I want to say it like him, but it takes a movie
Right.
for us to take notice again of the beauty and power that we as a people have. Like,
Yeah.
it should never have left.
Right.
Like, why would we allow someone to dictate to us how dope we are and everybody's trying to mimic us?
Yeah.
Can you take that?
Yeah. I think that's a pretty great perspective because it has been like, and especially here, it's been here in Atlanta in general. Um, a lot of people from LA come here, you know, and even in that perspective, they're bringing their people from LA to Atlanta when there's a ton of incredible actors here that can do the same job, but they rather pay a ton of money to fly somebody here who can do the same thing that somebody else can do it and even better.
Do you know that we were called uh the land of the co-stars?
Really?
Yes. They don't respect us enough to put us in these roles. And part of the tax credit, I don't know if it's still happening, but it was part of tax credit. They had to audition us for these roles in order to take advantage of the tax credit to shoot here.
Wow.
So actors that are watching this, if you don't know this, pay attention to the business of acting. That's just as important as learning this craft. The
Yeah.
business of it, learn it, know it, because it's your business.
Yep.
You are your own entity. So you have to know the business in the industry that you're in, so you know how to maneuver through it and you know what they're doing.
Yep. Yep. So what has been your biggest challenge?
Exposure, man, and COVID.
The exposure and COVID.
Like, right as they were coming, COVID hit, mandates hit. Dang, progress stalled.
Yeah.
But
And
it's
then it
okay. I took that time and I started learning more about the craft and perfecting it. So when it did open back up, I'm ready. No, I'm ready.
they were very strict
Yeah,
about taking that COVID vaccine that didn't do anything,
it didn't.
but they were very strict about taking it. And if you didn't take it, you could not go back on set and
I
play that.
got, I got sorry.
Wow.
They did not, remember they was like, yeah, they'll respect religion and medical reasons.
Right.
Well, I had both. It was still sorry. I
Wow.
got called back to go on a show. And I was told because I wasn't vaccinated, sorry.
Mm. And how did that make you feel?
Okay, the self-esteem of an actor, you know how it is.
Right.
Like we already feel like we ain't good enough. And then to hear this and you feel like, man, I was starting to go like 3 projects that year alone, back to back came out. Like it was happening. And what? It was frustrating.
Yeah.
It broke my heart and it had me questioning whether or not God wanted me to still be on this journey.
Yeah.
And I did. I left it in his hands. And every time that I thought that I was going to give up, here was a project coming through that I got the opportunity to work on. So even though it wasn't auditions coming in through my agent, I was still getting work coming in through other contacts from the
Right.
independent areas. So I've been blessed to work still, even during COVID, and to work on some really amazing projects that challenged me, pushed me, and I got to learn something new all at the same time.
And what did you say?
Build
And
connections.
yeah, why you said that? I'm glad you said that. How important is it to network?
Man, everything is relationship based, not just
Yes.
acting. Everything in life is relationship based. That's why we have these fraternities out of here, out in these colleges, because these fraternity brothers and sisters, they look out for each other professionally when they leave college. Remember that, y'all. It's no different with acting.
Yeah.
Every every audition that you do, that's you establishing a relationship to the viewer watching you. They're going to remember you. Every project that you're casted on, it doesn't matter your role. If you're not there, friendly, professional, able to take direction, don't cause no problems, great attitude and spirit, guess what? They're going to remember you. And out the
Yep.
blue, you could get an email or a text message from someone that said, hey, I got your number from such and such. I saw you doing this. I got you in mind for this role. Would you be interested? That's how you build and that's how you grow. You have to remain professional though.
That's absolutely true. I've been on sets and that saying one bad apple spoils the bunch. That is so true. I've been on sets and actors will come in with attitudes and it'll mess up the entire flow of the film, I've had as a producer, I've had to fire people.
Mhm.
So it's that's why I say it's a cutthroat industry, and you have to be humble in this game. Like it's you never know who that person you talking to could wind up being later.
Yep.
And I say that to people all the time because I've seen roles turn. There was a lot of people that I auditioned for and stuff back in the day,
Mhm.
and now they coming to audition for me.
Mhm.
you know, and it's funny because one guy came to my audition who I auditioned for years ago, and he said, "Man, I ain't never think like look at the opposite of this."
Yep.
And I said, "Right."
Yep.
And that's why I tell people all the time, don't get the big head. You get some people that do a commercial, bite into a sandwich, and they think they the biggest thing since sliced bread and haven't really done anything. I'm like,
Right.
are you kidding me?
You got a check.
Yes.
Congratulations. You got a check. But come on, son. Come on, son. And that's the thing. It's like, and some of them do. Like they'll like turn their nose up, look down, get a little snooty. Okay, you can have that. That you can have that. That's where you want to be. But then all of a sudden you look again and they're either gone from the industry altogether or they haven't progressed from where they've been.
Right.
And I just feel like, everybody's journey is different. We shouldn't be judging anyone. My road ain't your road. My interests aren't your interests. So I can't expect the same results. But if you love what you love, like let's support one another
Yeah.
because we all fighting for the same thing. And what's meant for you, it'll be for you. Me giving you
Absolutely.
advice of something that a class that I've paid a lot of money for, but I'm giving this to you. It's not because I want something back. I'm giving this to you because, damn, I couldn't afford it, but I struggled to pay for it. So I'm gonna
Hmm.
pass it down to you because I know we all struggling actors here.
Yeah.
Like each one teach one. I'm gonna pass it down because it's not gonna block my blessings. You ain't
Yeah.
had my life experiences. You can't deliver any audition the way that I can because we're not the same people. So you can't take nothing from me that's not meant.
Yeah. And like you said, what's meant for you is meant for you.
Mhm.
I'm sure you've been to auditions and didn't even think the role fit you. And guess what? You get the
Yeah.
role. So you just never know, what you're getting into when you go to auditions. You never know what they're looking for.
Yeah.
You just got to go and give your best. And if you don't get it, you don't get it. It just wasn't meant for you.
Right. Learn from it, keep it pushing.
Exactly.
It's like, okay, so when I remember when the auditions for P Valley came around, like it was years before it actually came to fruition. And
Hmm.
first it was just an audit. I mean, my agent sent just the email saying, "Hey, would you be interested in audition? We're just polling now. Would you be interested in auditioning for a show about like strippers?" And I'm from Atlanta, man. Come on. Who don't go to the strip club? Like, it's a culture here. I know the life. Like,
Right.
I grew up around it. I grew up around dancers and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
body tap at 16. Like, come on, son. So I was like, "Oh, that'd be fun." Not thinking I would book it. It's just the idea of getting to audition for something of a culture I know about. I can
Right.
free. Like the other auditions, I'm trying to figure out what they want. This one, I can be my ghetto self. I can what? I can let it all out. And it's okay because this is what the role is. So I told her, yeah, I'll do it. So the first round of auditions went around, everybody auditioned, and we didn't hear nothing. Then like a year or so later, I get an email. Well, there's apparently they're starting it back up. Would you be interested in auditioning again? Yeah. So I started getting auditions for it.
Okay.
And I got an audition for Mercedes. Of course, I know I wouldn't fit Mercedes. I know the culture. I'm petite. Mercedes will be thicker than a Snicker. I'm sorry. Like, she will be bad. But my thing was, I'm going to show what I know. So I had a blast taping that audition. I called my hood brother over there because you got to get the reader that give you what you need.
Right.
Like We as actors, we know that there are people that can give us what we need. You had that hood dude, that hood girl. You have the proper one, like you have the nerd one. You have all of that. You just have to think and be bold and ask them. So I called my brother over. Like, I need that hood. Like, this is a strip club. Like, so like literally we had hood music playing, like what they would have in the strip club. Like I had the outfit on. I even took a shot. Me and him took shots, and then all of a sudden we going. And he go, all right, that's comfortable, but let's just try it. So we improved it, and then we dropped it into the lines and sent it off. I felt good. I had fun. I felt like that was what I knew. It was true, authentic strip club dancer Atlanta. So
Right.
um I started getting more auditions for different characters. I kept doing them. Like if I didn't have a reader, I would sit there and synchronize my voice, change it to a different tone, and I would have it where it would automatically hit the line right where I needed to. And I'm in there and I'm doing my auditions. And then out the blue, I get a callback, an in-person callback. And so I go,
Okay.
okay. And so I go research. How do you go into a callback? It says, wear the outfit you did in the audition, do what you did in the audition, be prepared for take direction and a quick change and da da da, all this and that. So I go, oh, okay. So I go in the audition and I was so nervous because I'm very modest. I literally had on the outfit, which is like a little two-piece like lingerie set,
Uh,
this long coat. And right before I went into it, they was like, okay, they're ready. And I just said, oh God, help me. Wow. And I walked in the room like I was just so confident. I performed the scenes. They was like, wonderful. I get ready to go. They go, wait, we need you to dance. Dance. They go, yeah. I go, oh, okay. So they're playing Cardi B. It's a shag rug right here, man. I got heels on a shag rug. So I start trying to do my little toot to go down in a twerk. And my heel get caught in the shag rug and I almost fell. And I said, oh, hold up, almost fell. And I just started, they started laughing.
you almost.
I did. I said, oh, almost fell. I had to catch myself. Woo! And I just so when it was over, Katori told me that I have she can tell I have a clear understanding of the life and culture.
Right.
I'm comfortable at this point because I done messed up. So I'm like, yeah, girl, this is Atlanta. Like, girl, I've been in these clubs since I was 6. Let me tell you something. You got a dope project. I was like, this is gonna be really, really big because ain't nobody doing it what you're doing. Ain't nobody doing what you're doing. And it's dope. And it like I'm telling you, it's this gonna be amazing. And so she's like, thank you. And I was like, you're welcome. I'm like, bye, y'all. And I walked out. And I found out on the way to the elevator, Tara Philstein.
Uh,
She walked me out and she looked at me, she smiled, she said, you did a really amazing job. Great job. And I was like, thank you. Okay. And I get on the elevator and I leave. And I say about a month later, out the blue, I literally was in a training class at work. I get an email about a Novell check for P Valley. What? I said, what? 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 The whole class, like, what's going on? I go, nothing, nothing. So I go, yes, I'm available. I'm available. So she goes, okay, fingers crossed. 2 days later, I'm sitting in the same training class because it's a week-long class. And all of a sudden, all I see the email come through and say offer. I go, holy, and I darted out. I was jumping out the room. And I hit the door and I burst out of the room. And then right before I left the door fully, somebody hollered, what's wrong with her? I said, I just walked the road. And I slammed the door. And after that, I go to my agent. So what's the role? She was like, they don't know yet. I found out my character was written in.
so you were so good, they wrote you a character in.
My little scene was written in.
Wow.
And so when I got to set, like I know the element. I even know the area. I used to like get my nails done down the street from where it was filmed at, where we were filming at. So I'm comfortable in the environment. One thing you learn in acting, it's always good to get to the set a little early and
Yeah.
just get comfortable with it, because it'll help you when the cameras say action.
Yeah.
You're comfortable in your environment, you'll move around more. You'll have a purpose for moving because you know the room.
Yeah.
So I got I was comfortable in the environment because I know it. So we get in there and I already know the character. It's Hood. I can be me. And I'm open. You have to be open because you can't be set in your head how you're going to perform,
Right.
because you don't know what the other person is going to give to you.
Right.
It could throw you all off, and then you'll be stuck. You'll be breaking character and
Exactly.
messed up, and then they ain't gonna never remember you or call you back for nothing. So I was just open. And so we ran it a few times with her stand-in. And then when she came in, the energy shifted. I felt it. And so I wanted to be annoying. So I had my little gum. I wanted to affect her. You learn if you're supposed to affect somebody, affect them.
Yeah.
And I'm loud because I know hood girls from Atlanta. So I do, and that's where improv comes in, because this is
Right.
in the script. And then so I deliver my line. She turns and says her line to me, and because of her energy and how she looked, I was like, damn, or whatever I said. And then I went with what I would naturally do if I was on the phone with my sister and something like that happened, because we're buttholes. So it's like she tripping. Like somebody snapped on you, she thinks she snapped on me. She tripping. So I did that. And so they had me run that a few times. Then they had me run it as it was strictly in this script. And I left. And what ended up being used was what I added. So it was dope. And then I had to go in and do the voiceover. And the guy in the room, when I came in, he was like, "You were that character?" Because like I don't normally, this is me. Like I'm not the
Right.
character. I had a whole 16-piece wig on, like lime green lashes.
Right.
Like, and I came in just kind of professional. And he was like, "That was you?" And then I speak professional. I'm like, "Yes, that was me." And then he saw me do the voiceover. He was like, "You're amazing. How are you able to do that?" And I'm like, "I know the life." Like, and I mimic people really good too. So I'm
Yeah.
like, you know the life, like acting is about mimicking.
Right.
If you know someone from that lifestyle, mimic them and their behavior. That's
Yep.
it.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
so that's my little story about P Valley.
Hey, and that's a great story because
Ain't it?
man, you did your thing. You did your thing. I had to go and watch that thing. I said, okay. You
Yeah.
did your thing. Now, if yeah, you've worked with some great people, but if you had one male actor that you want to work with big time, who would that be?
Like on what scale?
Any actor that you think is great, talented that you want to work with.
Well, of course, I know everybody want to work with Samuel Jackson. Everybody would want to work with
Yep.
Samuel Jackson. Um, Outside of like those top people, I've come across some really, really dope people that I have had the opportunity to work with. But however, there's one guy. So the other night, a friend of mine has a company called Heartbeat Films, and she also um, hosts workshops with actors where they develop scripts, and she'll reach out to actors that she knows to come be a part to bring this to life so they can hear it out loud and then they can get critiqued in the XYZ. So there was one guy the other night that I got the opportunity to read with. And when I tell you, I forgot that we were like, this was a read. The lines, like we were reading the script, but you forget, like, you just that connection
Yeah.
and the way that they're giving those lines, like you feel it. And it's like a natural kinetic energy in a sense. I don't know how to describe it, but I pulled like he drew me in, and
Right.
that in turn made me like give more. So it's like somebody said it once, acting with your scene partner or in a scene with someone is like a boxing match.
Yeah, you're right.
One person gives you a hard punch, you got to come back harder, and you're going to naturally do it. But at
Yeah.
the end of the day, it ends up being a really great fight. I had that with this guy. His name is Keith, older gentleman, not older, but he's a little older than me. But oh my God, his skill set, the way that he gave those lines, and this was nothing but a cold read. Like we don't read these scripts prior to.
Right. Just a
We read
cold
them.
read.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
to be able to like fall into it with someone that I've never met before, just like that, I literally told him that night, I would love to work with you. I can only imagine in person what this performance could have been like.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't know what a cold read is, that's when you get the script on location. It's not sent to you early, and you're reading it for the first time right there on the spot. That's a cold read. And they sometimes they give you a few minutes to look it over. Sometimes they just say, "Here's the script, go." So you literally have to go off your understanding of what film is. Read the narrative because they come with narrations and stuff. And understand what you're reading and getting into.
And
So,
listening
yeah,
and reacting. Don't anticipate the next person's lines.
right.
Listen and react off of what they're saying.
And one of the things that is key to that, I did two domestic violence films.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Dope. I saw one of them.
yeah.
Amazing.
And so one of the things that when you said that other person, you don't know what they're gonna give, that's you're absolutely correct because if you don't pay attention to what that person is giving you, then what you're gonna say has to be 10 times that or has to match whatever they're doing. If a person is screaming for their life, then you got to be doing something to make them look like they have a right to scream for their life.
Or it's
You
just
get
gonna look
what?
stupid.
Or it's gonna look crazy. And so I get exactly what you're saying, and I know what that means. So
You're one person that I've always wanted to work with, and I've been extremely vocal about it throughout these years, sir.
yeah. Yep, we have definitely said that a few times that we wanted to work together, and hopefully that chance come up. You know what I'm saying? Because we both are producers and writers and
Mm-hmm.
writing our own stuff, so we may have to just create something, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying, for us to do. So
Mm-hmm.
I know it's
Clock
gonna happen.
that tea.
I know it's gonna happen sooner or later. Now,
All
what?
of y'all hit this. So if y'all don't see it come to fruition, DM him. Just put a bunch of Z's on all his comments for me. Z. Beehive got them bees.
Oh
I'm
man.
Z.
Now I asked you about male actors. What about female actors?
Um, I would love to work with my girl Marquita. I love
Mm,
Marquita so much. She's beautiful. It's my soul sister. My other good friend, good girlfriend, sister Yolanda Ross. She's also a Yolanda T. Ross, but we have one that's been on the shy and been working for a while, so they have the same name. But I call her Cholanda, so she's another one that I would absolutely love to work with.
okay, okay. And since you have been, because we got like 10 minutes left in the show, and I want to
Yeah,
touch on something else before it go by quick, right?
we
Like
do.
I feel like we just started talking.
We did.
What kind of advice would you give to upcoming actors, actresses on how to be an actor, what to look for in being an actor? What piece of advice would you give them?
I would first say be patient. That's the biggest thing. And understand that nothing happens overnight. If you know,
Yep.
coming in, like on a regular job, it takes 20 years to climb up the ladder to get the salary that you want or somewhere near it. So it's no different with acting. Acting is still a job. It seems like things happen overnight. We hear
Right.
these stories, but at the same time, that it doesn't tell how many years they worked independently before they got the opportunity to get more exposure so we can see them. And if
Yeah.
you look into it, you find out these people have been working 15, 20 years
Yeah.
before they even got the opportunity. Like Sherman Hemsley, he was 40 by the time he got his role in the Jeffersons.
Yeah.
He had been working, just working, struggling as an actor, like all of us, for 20 years until he got this opportunity. So if you notice coming in, it'll make you a little bit more humbler and you may last longer. Because you know, Wardell, some people that we started with, they're not here anymore because
Right.
it didn't move for them the way that they thought that it was going to move.
Right.
And if you're passionate about it, you have a love for it, you're not going to give up.
Exactly.
Keep your blinders up. Don't compare yourself to anyone else. Like what's meant for you will be for you. Just
Yep.
because this particular person keeps booking, you don't know how long that they've been working before they're having this opportunity. Because you
Absolutely.
don't grow, you don't evolve to getting more different roles, to grow outside of a co-star role to guest star reoccurring, unless you establish this relationship with casting directors. And you do that through giving solid auditions to show your range. So
Right.
focus on establishing your relationships. Learn all you can about this craft. It's a beautiful craft. Don't cut corners. You're killing yourself if you do. Because if you go into one room, they say something that you don't know because you didn't take the time to learn your craft, then you might not get that opportunity again because there is a such thing as being blacklisted. There is a such thing as them putting you on pause
Yes, it
for a
is.
while. And they'll
Yes, it
come back
is.
to you maybe a couple of months, maybe 6 months to a year later to see if you're ready at that time. So
Yep.
don't think that your auditions aren't getting looked at. Don't think you're just sucking at everything. They're watching you and you're establishing your relationships through these auditions.
And
Go to
people,
the networking
please.
events and these workshops too.
Yep. And people, please watch what you put on social media.
Oh, also one more thing, advice.
Mhm. Yep.
Everything that you're auditioning for, research it.
Yep.
Research who the writers are, research the producers, watch the show. Pay attention to the pacing. Like, is this a drama? Is this a network procedural? They all have different structures. If you understand that, then you know that you're going to give the best audition.
Yep.
Even
And
the wardrobe, pay attention to the wardrobe. Identify someone who you relate to in each project. See how they dress, their mannerisms, mimic that.
yep. And also, I was about to say, make sure you pay attention to what you put on social media because people, they pay attention. If you venting, talking about people, posting crack guns, smoking weed, whatever you doing on social media, it will get you fired
Yes,
quicker than you got hired. So
yes,
please believe me, I've seen it happen a million times. And people think they say, well, this is my page. I can do what I want on my
yeah.
page. Go ahead, do what you want on your page. But it will get you canned from a project.
And go vote. I voted yesterday. It's early voting. They
Yeah, I was
reported.
finna talk to you about that. You took my moment.
I'm sorry.
Because
We
I
can
was
move.
so finna ask you.
It
No,
never
no,
happened.
no. No, I said go ahead, because that was going to be the last thing I talked to you about because you
Yes.
had a lot to say before we did the start the show. So I wanted to bring that up.
So day before yesterday was the first day of early voting. It was reported on all news outlets that for the first day, Georgia already broke record numbers. This is
Mm,
a good thing, people. We are breaking record numbers within the first few days of early voting. They said they ain't seen numbers like this. These numbers wasn't even here when when we turned the state blue for Biden. These are greater than that. Let's keep this momentum up. It doesn't matter who you vote for, but really, there are two people. Because if you vote for anybody else on that ballot outside those two people, that's a vote against those main two people, and it can go either way. So, like, I get it. We all have our feelings. I'm not trying to tell you vote for, but pick one of those two. Pay attention to those last three resolutions. Those are to put the wealthy, the top 1%, on the same playing field, tax bracket wise, as the working class and the poor. And come on, son, we need a break, because what y'all ain't nobody paying attention to, the tax cuts that we're dealing with now, are everything that we're blaming Biden and Harris on now. These are the things that happened under Trump.
Yeah.
Trump was riding on Obama's doing, okay? And the fact that the House and the Senate was dominated by Democrats. That's how all of those things were able to happen. Since he came out of office, the House has been dominated, and the Senate, by Republicans, mostly MAGA. So nothing is happening, nothing is getting done, because they're trying to make it a mess so they can put a certain person in office. Do your research. Don't just rely on social media. That's for
Exactly.
clickbait. That's to get views. You can go to YouTube. You can watch MSNBC. There's the Midas Touch that's on YouTube. There's Legal AF. Watch those shows. You can even watch the legislative session so you can know who's doing what, who's stopping what bill, and what's going on there. So you don't have to wait and let somebody else tell you something that's not true. You'll know the facts yourself. This is an important election. It's not about putting a female in office. This is about saving democracy and putting things back right. We have a corrupt Supreme Court. Women's reproductive health is on the line. And look at how they're coming at these migrants. Look at how the attacks are coming more on people of color. It's bigger than just putting a female in office, people. That's all I have to
say. And you hit the nail right on the head. You dropped the mic on that one. you look like, boop, and that's all I had to say.
Sorry.
How can people reach you, Yasmein?
You can find me on Instagram. I am Yasmein, YASMEIN.Z, like Zorro. I'm on Facebook, just Yasmein Ziyad. I do have a TikTok, but I haven't been that active on it, but you can reach me on there because I still respond to messages and stuff. And other than that, check my IMDb, has some contact information, my email if you want it, DM me. If you want to reach me on a project, DM a player. Get at me.
Yasmein, I appreciate you coming on. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time before we get off, I just want to remind you, please go vote. Yasmein just said it. It is very important to vote right now. I cannot express to you, early voting has started already. It started October 15th. If you don't want to wait in the long lines on November 1st, go now and vote. All my friends have been saying they've been in and out really quick. So please go and vote. Yasmein just said, we done broken records. We need to keep the momentum going. We need to keep voting. I think people are finally starting to realize, excuse me, finally starting to realize how important voting is. I mean, people have been talking about it. There has been talk shows. There has been solo artists. There's been artists and political figures and actors. Everyone is talking about this political campaign, this voting. You have to go out and vote. And like she said, there's two. And you know who the two are. Kamala and Trump. So please go and vote and pick one of those two. Listen, I would say I don't care who you vote for, but please pay attention to what they are both talking about. Go and do your research. Feel good about what you are voting for. Okay? Feel good about it. Make sure you read the 3 referendums. Okay? There are 3, and she mentioned them. the 1022, 598, and 808. Go and check those out. Read them, understand what they're saying, and vote. Okay? If you don't know your voting status, go to www.iamavoter.com or www.mvp.sos.ga.gov. Okay? Go and vote. Also, mail in your absentee ballots. Mailing your absentee ballots. Our seniors and college students, physically challenged people, go to the polling places if at all possible. Please vote, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot express to you how important it is. Please don't just pay attention to who giving out money and pay attention to the things that are very important for a long term. Pay attention to those things. Pay attention to what goes on with our health. People are trying to go against our health. People are trying to go against a lot of different things that can affect us long term. Look at those things. Please pay attention to what's going on the news. Go and look at the debates. They're all on YouTube. You can look up any of them. And make a sound decision that you can go to sleep and feel good you made that decision on. Okay? I am Wardell Richardson on WCEG Wood, the Hollywood of the South. I thank you for another show. Yasmein, thank you for giving me the time. We're going to work together.
You better, brother,
One of
because
these days.
it's destined now. All these people are witness to it. Thank you so much for inviting me to be on your amazing platform. It was my honor to be here to share a little bit about me to everyone. And come on, man, let's get it. Let's go.
Yeah.
You want to be a boss? You got to pay the price.
You are amazing.
Likewise.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are out. God bless. Peace. I'm going away, yes.
Okay.